Hey, 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 what's up? It's Petra, your faith bestie, and I am so excited to be starting 2024 with you. I am committed to having even more conversations this year, making sure that we're all being equipped to live well, and that's holistically well. So, if you are interested in having conversations about how to be your best self, and the best self is the woman that God has called and ordained you to be, and if you're interested in being the best friend, and that is the godly friend that God is calling forth out of you, then I want you to grab your water or your coffee, because I have both, and grab your notepads or your phones, and let's get started. Okay, so you're back, and I'm excited because we're going to be talking today about 5 things that I stopped doing to live a happier and healthier life. Now, I'm going to give a disclaimer. These things are currently in motion as well. So, to maintain my happier, healthier life, I have to keep doing these things or not doing these things. So, keep that in mind when you're taking these notes. That this is not a quick fix, this is a commitment. And what you're going to find that a lot of the conversations we're going to have over this year are about process. And the reason that we're going to talk about process is because it's going to help you to maintain your position and your posture. And those are two very different things, but it requires a commitment really to being obedient, to being submitted, and it requires you to be structured. Okay, there has to be a level of discipline in your life to really maintain, sustain, and kind of build a happier, healthier life. So we're going to be talking about process a lot this year. Sorry guys, my lip gloss is like super thick, which is great because it lasts all day, but I just realized like it's doing weird stuff. So sorry about that. But again, we're talking about position and posture too, right? So your position is, are you aligned with the will and plan of God? Like, where are you? What are you doing? And your posture is, are you submitted to Him? Are you kneeling before Him? Are you seeking Him in all things? Are you worshiping Him through what you consider to be the difficult times? Your position and your posture are really important to your process because they help you to understand that it doesn't have to feel good to be good. It doesn't have to look good to be good. It doesn't have to sound good to be good. If you are consistently in alignment with His plan, then you are where you're supposed to be. And if you're in the posture that He has called you to be in, then you will be ready to be a good steward of what it is that He wants to release to you there. You won't have this vain ego really dictating your moves, but you will be consulting Him on everything that you're doing. So that's important. So we're going to talk about the 5 things that I've stopped doing to help me live a happier and healthier life. And I'm going to actually pull up my phone here to make sure that I stay on track because it's necessary, right? So the first thing that I stopped doing was making excuses for not taking care of my temple. The first thing that I stopped doing was making excuses for not taking care of my temple. I have a busy schedule. I believe so many people have a busy schedule. But if we are saying that we want to do more and we want to be considered to be good stewards of more, right? Like we want to be trusted with more, then our bodies have to be able to maintain the rigor that God is going to require for us to move forward in His process and plan. It's not just about your mental and emotional stability. It's also about your physical. If you can't get up and move quickly, if you can't work hard, if you can't rest well, if you can't be focused when you're doing something because your body is achy, then you are unable to maintain the rigor and the stamina that is required for the things that you're asking for. And so I stopped making excuses about not taking care of my body. And just stopped. And I actually have an accountability partner. Most of you know Ashley. And so I literally check in with her every day. I tell her what I'm reading as far as my scripture. I tell her what I'm eating, and I tell her when I'm working out. I work out for about 45 minutes a day. I wish it was 45 days. I work out for 45 minutes a day. and I do actual physical activity, right? So I have a stepper in my home, I have a row machine in my home, I have kettlebells in my home, like I have all the things. And so I work out for 45 minutes. And it's important because I'm beginning to care for my temple on the outside as well as the inside, so that God can see that I'm not just concerned with one part of me, I'm concerned with all of me, just as He is. And because of that, because I'm taking the time to take care of my body, I'm finding that I'm more confident. I'm finding that I have more energy. I'm finding that I'm actually sleeping better because the exercise is helping to really calm me down. I'm finding that I don't have the aches that I was having before. I'm finding that I'm able to move around without being winded, like all the things. So the first thing is stop making excuses about not taking care of your temple. We leave our temple to the last thing, or we're making all of these New Year's resolutions to work out more. But really think about it as maintenance of your temple. And when we say temple, it's because it houses the Holy Spirit. And you don't want Him living nothing raggedy. So it can't just be about your physical appearance. It has to be about your ability to maintain the house and structure for the Holy Spirit. Okay? That's the first thing that I did. The second thing that I stopped doing was overextending myself. I stopped overextending myself. I am the type of person that I want to go and do and be available for everyone and just make sure that I'm loving and doing the things. But sometimes I can't do that. I have to say no. I have to take care of me. And so that's really important. If you overextend yourself, then you are not able to excel in the areas that you're actually called to. And then you're also anxious when you're doing the things that you've said yes to that you're really not aligned with. And so neither does well. Both suffer. And you have to be able to properly manage your time and your efforts and your talents so that you are excelling in the areas that God has called you to. You cannot overextend yourself. That also means that some of the things that you've been currently doing, you need to stop doing. They're not meant for you. You need to be taking on the new things that God has called you to. Overextending yourself will burn you out and will keep you from living a happier, healthier life. And that's dangerous. That's so dangerous. But hold on, guys. 1 second. I'm getting a call. I'll be right back. I'm back. I mean, it's going to make a second to you, but I have been gone for a while. I had some errands, some meetings that popped up, but I'm here. So that's another thing. So we're talking about the 5 things that I stopped doing so I could live a happier, healthier life. And I think we're on number 3, if I remember correctly. And the third thing that I absolutely stopped, and I'm still continuing to stop. Hold on 1 second. We're going to make this happen, guys. We're going to make this happen. I am in the open area of my house because this is where I start recording first. So you're going to hear a lot of background movement, all the things, but we're going to try to wrap this up. So nice. The third thing that I absolutely stopped doing in my pursuit of living a happier, healthier life is I stopped with the negative self-speak. And this is what I mean. And this is why it ties into what I was just talking about when I came back from my break. Sometimes I would beat myself up because I was really, really focused in an area and not so focused in another, that I'm constantly being pulled in different directions. And even not being overextended, I'm still being pulled in multiple areas. And I used to kind of feel bad about it. And so I would talk negatively to myself. And I realized that's not helpful, because the reality is that God has made me multi-purposed and multifaceted. And so I'm going to have multiple interests and multiple points of contact and multiple things that I'm doing at once, even with my time management, even with my commitment to not being overextended, and even with my commitment to excelling. Okay, I'm still going to have a ton of things to do. And so I don't need to beat myself up about it if I've got to stop one thing to handle another thing, because I am equipped to do that as long as I have the proper boundaries and capacity statements in place, right? Like at this moment, I can do this and I can't do this, or I absolutely can do this and I can't do that, right? And so being able to do that, but also again, the way that I speak to myself, I am equipped for multiple things. It is possible and plausible that I am purposed and multifaceted. And so that also means that there are going to be days that I'm not necessarily going to get everything done. And that doesn't mean that I have to beat myself up. Same thing with you all. So if you're working on multiple projects, or you have things that you're interested in and you're trying to learn about it, but you don't necessarily get all the information in one moment, you don't have to beat yourself up about it. It just means that you have to constantly recalibrate, pull back, and see, is this serving me in this season or is it not? And then adjusting accordingly. Because again, you don't want to talk negatively to yourself. You don't want to pull yourself down. You want to say, oh my gosh, you didn't work out today, so now you're going to be a fat slob. Or, oh my gosh, you didn't eat healthy today, so you're not going to get good rest. Or, oh my gosh, you had to cancel this, so that means they're no longer going to call on you because you weren't available, you weren't accessible. No. You need to talk to yourself with love and with care and remind yourself you are multifaceted, multi-purposed, and that means that you are also multidimensional and you excel in multiple areas, and you have to teach other people how to engage with you as you learn how to engage with yourself. So again, the way you engage with yourself is how other people are going to begin to engage with you. And that's really, really important for, again, realizing that speaking negatively to yourself teaches other people to do the same thing. It also teaches them to have unrealistic expectations of your abilities and your time and your capacity. It does. Because again, you'll continue to overextend and overcommit, and then they'll continue to call on you, pull on you. And then when something falls through, they'll feel a certain type of way because you'll be acting a certain type of way. So again, stop with the negative self-speak. That's number 3. Wait, E. Hold on, please. Oh, okay. Sterling, please look. Please, so she won't yell. Number 4 that I have on living a happier, healthier life is having non-negotiable me time. Non-negotiable me time. It's not where I'm plugged into anybody else, any other work. It's not where I am committed to doing anything but caring for myself. That's even if I'm reading a book for a few minutes. That's if I'm going on a date with one of my friends. It's maybe I take a quick momcation to Ocala and spend a couple nights there. Whatever that looks like, my non-negotiable is my me time. And y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you. Last year, my me time extended past a day. There were multiple things that I pulled out of. There were multiple things that I was no longer available for. And I literally just cleared my calendar and said, you know what? I got to sit with myself. I got to recalibrate. And some of that process also included my family, so that I could reconnect with them because I had been so busy and so detached. But also I realized that as my moods were fluctuating, it was because of my anxiety and depression. And that was beginning to snowball because I wasn't taking the time to really breathe and to process. And so I wasn't really hearing my own voice. It was being overshadowed by every other voice and every other thing that was going on. And so I wasn't making the decisions that were really smart for me and my own navigation as God has called me to do it. It was good for everybody else's expectations of me, but not my own. And so a non-negotiable for me to living a happier, healthier life is to have non-negotiable me time. It's important. So I hope that you'll do that and you'll figure out what it looks like for you. And now we're going to go into number 5. We're going to head into number 5, which is my last non-negotiable. I don't even know if that's how I worded it with you guys before, but it's my last non-negotiable. You saw Robbie walk by in the mirror, so he's probably going to come say hi in a second. Oh, he may not. He may be on the phone.
Oh, I know.
It's fine. Welcome to my real life, guys. Welcome to my real life. So my last non-negotiable for living a happier, healthier life is making sure that my relationship with God is the most important thing that I'm doing. The most important thing that I'm nurturing, the most important thing that I'm sustaining, the most important thing that I'm investing in. So that means that in the morning, I'm still getting up and I'm listening to my word. That means during the day, I'm taking some time for devotionals. That means I'm also reaching out to my friends to pray with me. My husband and I have certain prayer focuses and things that we're talking about as we're navigating our to-grow lists and our goal lists. It means that my personal worship time is my personal worship time. I'm taking that with me, whatever that looks like. And a lot of times it happens for me in the car. You guys know me. I'm always in the car. I actually don't play any music in my car. It's silent. And I'm able to worship either silently, vocally, demonstratively, whatever that looks like, but really my worship is my life. So I'm going over my day with God and thanking him, honoring him for every moment, all the details, right? And so while it's the number 5 thing that I've listed, it's the most important thing. Hold on, wait 1 second. So Robert is making the mistake of having a conversation right now with the kids. It's okay. So anyways, so that's what's important, because you're going to find that this year, as you're kind of propelling forward into your happier, healthier state, that you actually have to have a happier, healthier relationship with God, because then you're able to really hear him, and then you're able to evolve and to show up as the one that he wants you to be, because he's had more time to talk, invest, and teach you. And then all of those other things that we've talked about, those 4 other things, it'll be easier for you to accomplish them because you're supported in this relationship here. Remember, if you focus on doing the things of God, the things that he's called you to, which part of that is your relationship with him, all of the other things will be added unto you. That's the word. And so again, and listen, now she's singing because Robert has kind of given the okay now that he's come and talking. And she also gave me her Barbie toy. So those are the 5 things that I have stopped doing. And the 5th thing that I am doing, I don't know, it's gotten all confusing because obviously my household has kind of got me all out of whack. So the 5th thing, if we're going to say if it's something I stopped doing, it was stop putting my relationship with God in a box. That's how I would term it. If I'm going to say it's one of the things I've stopped doing. One of the things that I am doing is nurturing my relationship with him. So you could word it either way that you want. I'm so sorry, guys. It got chaotic in the end, but I appreciate you sitting with me. I hope that you stayed to the end. I hope that this was a blessing and a benefit to you. I would love for you to drop in the comments other ways that you are looking forward to building a happier, healthier life in 2024. We're going to do all the things together, and we're going to do it in the middle of the chaos, because what I've found is God is in the details, and you can find good things even when craziness is happening around you if you'll just stay focused and don't get distracted by anything that goes on around you, even if it's your own household. Okay. All right. So again, if I did the last 2 in terms of what I am doing, just think of it in the opposite of what I'm no longer doing. So you could think of it either way. Okay. But these are the 5 things that I'm doing to have a happier, healthier life in 2024. I can't wait to see y'all for our next talk. I love you a whole lot. Bye, y'all.